Good morning, everybody. Guys, did you ever notice when visitors came, or when you were with your parents out maybe shopping or something, or on an outing, and they meet people they know well but haven't seen for a while, and these people also have children maybe the same age, and how they glow and radiate joy for those children. And maybe there was a moment before this where the parents had disciplined us or corrected us or said a word like, a scolding, a gentle scolding or whatever, but and we felt their authority, their how would you say, their that we had to change something. We felt we needed to follow an instruction, and we didn't like it so much. We didn't like to have been treated that way, and the parents, gave so much joy and so much affirmation, and so friendly, so smiling. And then you have the treatment of when we went to the grandparents or we met them, and they were also smiling and everything. And the role of one's own parents a little bit tougher, more demanding, It's an interesting social phenomenon. And it probably reflects a reality that also has to do with the responsibility the parents have and the familiarity. Also to show joy to the others, to show enthusiasm and esteem for the children of friends. It's a beautiful thing to do. I'm not complaining about all of this. I'm just trying to ponder the fact that we have this type of, let's say, two standards in a way. And a standard of more, you would say, more expectations and firmness on the one side, and more generosity and kindness on the other, of like even if the others had some glaring misbehaviors or whatever. And it's probably got to do with also with the responsibility then that the respective parents have for their own children. And they, like a coach, is going to put their team through the loops, make sure they can perform so they will be ready and up to standard for the game, the competition. And our parents, our teachers have the duty and the responsibility to be the first direct overseers, that when we go out into the competition of life, the challenges of life, the pressures of life, that we're able for this, that we're able to handle it. And this is very interesting dynamic that can happen in the normal run of human encounters and relationships and attitudes. And I don't think it's wrong at all. I think it's just very natural. And it's distinguishing the different attitudes and the different approaches regarding different people because of a different authority or kinship relationship. Human life is very nuanced. we have the relationship of Paul today to the members of the new community in Corinth. And he is, in a certain sense, writing in a very strict manner. He is calling their attention to significant aberrations of what behavior should really be like, how they should really behave. They are hurting their unity because, let's face it, it's not just they're still pagans that have been baptized. They believe, but there's a tremendous amount of growth needed still. They're still thinking and very much and moved in a pagan way in many things, even though they have embraced the faith and are practicing the faith regularly. That's the implication of the address today to them. And on the other hand, Jesus is so effusive with the Gentile. With this centurion who was in charge of 100 soldiers over here at Capernaum. And I can show you where Capernaum is. So what's shining over there is the new hotel that Sarel Travel Company has built. And if you draw a line down to the shore where the single branch is there in the middle of the screen, and right under that is from our angle here, that's where you have Capernaum. But actually the hotel is more in line with the Orthodox Capernaum in terms of the road. It's actually further over than that a bit than the entrance to the Orthodox Capernaum property, the Greek Orthodox. So we're over in Capernaum, and the centurion, Jesus isn't there. The centurion is sending for Jesus to ask him to do a miracle for a servant who is very sick, maybe close to death. And that whole relationship is in a very nice mood, a very mutually respectful mood. And there's also a bit of irony in there, because this centurion goes to the Jewish leaders, and they're the ones to ask Jesus. And maybe they themselves have a quarrel in their heart with Jesus. But it's an amazing thing how human relationships work. Because the centurion can go to them and they'll respect him because he built their synagogue. So they'll have great deference to him. Again, he's a pagan, and they're treating him differently than they might treat even Jesus, who's curing people, who's healing, who's bringing the scriptures to life with new vividness, with a new richness into the heart and soul, that the call of God, that God is speaking to the heart. And yet he's speaking also about justice in a way like the prophet Amos, and really all the prophets are very big on justice and social justice. And you cannot have love for God and claim that you're faithful to God and disregard the needy. It's a huge theme and it's a basic content of religious identity, because at the end of the day, how can we adore God and disregard the needs of those made in his image and likeness? They're his ambassadors to us. So these Jewish leaders now approach Jesus, and maybe they were criticizing him before, I don't know, but it wouldn't be hard to imagine, because there's already quite a tension building. They don't like some of the things Jesus is doing. Maybe if they had somebody sick, they wouldn't go to Jesus for a miracle. They're in a more hostile, aggressive relationship. And yet they go with all their formality. I can imagine them going properly dressed and greeting him with the word shalom, and everything, but maybe the shalom on the lips is not matched by the shalom in the heart. And then if we put that in context with the comment Jesus makes at the end, since this is the miracle for a Gentile. Oh wow, look at this big catfish here. He probably noticed us now here. He noticed all of you here because he just stopped waggling. I wonder if it's a normal one or an unhealthy one. Some children were here and built their little pool. I have to zoom out again so you can see the little pool they built. They built their Hoover Dam here, or whatever the biggest dam in your country is. You know what the fish said when it hit the cement wall? Damn. Sorry if somebody didn't understand that properly, that pun. So let's go down here. He thinks that we don't see him anymore. Or maybe he's at the end of his tether and waiting for some jackals to come to recycle him. Or maybe just because it's the hot weather. Oh, he's not scared, so maybe he's not well. He has a lot of little garbage, like little shells and stuff on them. And now we get this close to a catfish. We didn't get this close for a long time, or ever. So the phone is only about 6 inches away from the catfish. Could be an old one. I wonder if he's stranded there. I think we'll finish the live stream. If I find a stick, I might poke him out so I see. Oh, there's another one over here. Oh, there's 3 of them. Wow. Look at this. So there's one here, a dead one, and 2 more over here. And he's done. And this one is done. Oh, I'm going to send a little report to somebody so the authorities can know. There's a lot of garbage here as well, obviously, which isn't new, unfortunately. So maybe it's just a sick one to the end of his life. But some of these are very small. So who knows what's going on. Oh, there's a stick here that I could use to prod him. A little bamboo. If he got out into the water, maybe he has a better chance, or maybe he doesn't want to. Maybe his life is over and he just wants to be on the shore. He reached his eternal shore. No, this guy isn't. He's not up to it, I think. It's over. Well, maybe. Well, at least it's out in the water now. So he has a better chance. It's interesting, the gift of faith. Faith is also a gift from God, and this centurion has this gift. But faith is also a relationship, so a relationship is a two-way street and needs correspondence. So if we don't correspond to the one in whom we put our trust, the one in whom we believe, if we keep our independence, if we keep a distance, if we enter into critical attitude, if we enter into harsh words, if we withdraw, then the relationship suffers immensely. The relationship suffers immensely. And this is very, very sad, and especially when it comes to faith in God. Remember, all these stones are underwater before, so you can see the lake is down where that garbage bin is over there. I'll put it in the very center right now. So the water usually gets up to, well, it actually gets up to the bushes there. It covers all this area. So it's down, I'm not sure, I haven't checked the measurement. They're on the website for the measurements of the Sea of Galilee, so I don't know exactly how much it's down, but it's probably getting close to 2 meters. and that's okay for this time of the year. Good. So I think we've a lot to chew on there. The gift of faith, the faith we have, the ability to trust that Jesus can cure by remote control. Here you can see this artificial lake that these children made. And we can ask for the gift of faith. And we can ask for the grace to renew our faith, to grow in our faith, because it's a relationship. So faith is a relationship that this guy has with Jesus and that he's entering with Jesus. It's very interesting. There's a whole other piece I'd like to suggest to you today that was very well done. I found it rather appealing. Our friend, our Australian accented friend, who has the logical Bible commentary, the Daily Gospel, Exegesis. I mentioned this quite a few times, and it's also mentioned here on my chat. It's interesting the way he deals with, he brings out today in a very clear way the significance of these relationships between the centurion and Jesus, and the centurion and the Jews and the Jewish leaders, and the fact that he's a Gentile and the relationship between Jews and Gentiles. He draws a lot out of the text today, and I think you would be, you if you have time to check it out, you would benefit from that commentary. So let's leave it like that for today. And greetings here from Galilee. See, people are going to work, lots of traffic. Life goes on. Each one has their duties to do as best they can in the circumstances. And see you later, alligators. Somebody said to me there are a lot of comments on Facebook from yesterday. My apologies, I just didn't get to work on that and to see them. May everybody be blessed. Thank you for all your goodwill, for your prayers, and may the Lord keep you and bless you, and also help you in the steps of perseverance as we walk together in our faith. See you later, alligators.